United, the stars are closer. Good afternoon, honored audience. We are a group of enthusiastic 11th graders at Andrei Saguna National College in Brasov, Romania. We are grateful to stand here in front of you in order to present our project, which encompasses our dreams and passions during the last year. The first thought which comes in mind when talking about a project of this scale is why. You might say that Chrysalis was built in order to ensure people a new home. Our colony was designed having the fractal development as our future.
Chrysalis, the name of our settlement and of our project, was inspired by a creature of exceptional beauty and grace, the butterfly. In many cultures, the butterfly represents adaptation, change, hope, and life. The change consists in us leaving our old home, the earth, for space, an environment that we do not master, an environment that needs adaptation. This journey is filled with the hope of building a new life, of bringing humanity to another level, and of discovering the mysteries of the universe while living in harmony with it. To many, this may seem unreachable, but to us, it is a goal for which we work hard with devotion and patience. Chrysalis means the nympha stage of the butterfly. It comes from Greek, and chrysalis means the word gold, which is the color of the most chrysalids. The location. You may be wondering why we have chosen this particular place. Well, it is actually quite simple. Not only is it the perfect spot for our fractal development plan, being situated in the middle of the solar system, but it is also an area with many resources, like hydrogen and organic compounds. We chose Enceladus because it is rich in water and salt, but also because there is a possibility of life. This is why we chose to create this project, because we believe that life should be supported, protected, and encouraged.
The shape of the Chrysalis space settlement was inspired by the structure of the DNA, so it consists in an assembly of two helices, which will be placed diametrically opposed. In our case, the helices will be hybrid ones, to be more precise. The reason we chose the helix as the primary form was because it's extremely easy to rotate form in order to generate artificial gravity, and it's also easy to divide into different areas. The construction process will be divided into four stages. The first stage will be the assembly of the central axis, which is formed by 5 different pieces, which are going to connect like some puzzle pieces in order to create a stable shape. The second stage is about connecting the consolidation modules to the central axis, and they will also have the role of connecting the helices with the central cylinder. The third stage is about connecting the observatories at the two ends of the central axis, while the fourth and the last one is basically the attachment of the two helices. The wall of the settlement is going to have 4 layers. The first layer is the skeleton, which is made out of metals and is going to support the whole structure. The second layer is the piezoelectric one. The third layer is going to be the polyethylene layer, which is going to have an anti-radiation wall, while the last one is the vantablack with cylindric tubes placed in a honeycomb formation.
Now we're going to talk about the atmosphere. We try to make it as similar as possible to the one on Earth, with the only difference being that we changed argon to nitrogen. To clear the air of impurities, we will use artificial rain, which will also be able to create rainbows for our inhabitants to enjoy. Also, an important component of the atmosphere would be the ceiling, which is actually a screen able to project what the sky looks like on Earth, so it will be able to show our colonists what the sunset looks like on here, what thunderstorms and rainstorms are on Earth, so that kids and new generations would have an idea of how Earth would be like. Now we're going to talk about resources. Of course, we chose Enceladus because it is rich in resources and it is an area full of possibilities. For example, we will extract the water and salt from Enceladus, and also the water from Saturn's rings, hydrogen from Saturn, methane, ammonium, and nitrogen from Titan. The energy. Of course, we will need a large quantity of energy to sustain our settlement, and the 2 main energy types would be solar energy, which we will capture using the vantablack layer and the photovoltaic panels, and the second type of energy will be nuclear energy, which we will obtain by nuclear fusion.
The industry from our settlement is not going to be as large as the one from Earth, but it will focus mainly on producing machines that can facilitate people's lives. Therefore, the most important branches of the industry are the machine building industry, the metallurgical, as well as the glass and wood ones. The agriculture is the most important source of food for the inhabitants of Chrysalis. Consequently, we will grow fish as it is a protein source for the inhabitants as well as bees for honey production. Robotics is an essential technology for our settlement. The robots will perform a series of tasks that will facilitate the people's lives and from work in society to leisure. The most important robots are the industrial robots, agricultural, medical, those working in spaceships, as well as those in mining industry.
Considering the fact that obtaining resources in the outer space is an extremely difficult process, people will navigate inside the settlement using methods which will be as effective as possible, which will not require fuel but will rely on the renewable energies. Considering that, there will be a magnetic levitation train inside the settlement, and there will also be electric cars or bikes. About the external transport, it will be divided into two categories. The first one is the transport of the resources from Earth, which is something that the ship will depend on, at the beginning at least. And the second one is the transportation of people, which might be tourist or permanent inhabitants. Considering that, there will exist a fleet of spaceships, which will make this transition possible.
One important component of our settlement is the human factor. In order to select the people regardless their religion and race, we implemented a set of criteria. Some of the common criteria are having a perfect health state and also having a good physical state, and having a high level of English, because English is the language which will be spoken on our settlement, and also having some qualities such as courage and team working.
One of the most important components is, of course, the medical system, because we want to ensure that our inhabitants live as healthy as possible and that we can offer them the latest technologies available. For this, we have the Crywatch, nanomedicine, and robots. Nanomedicine is the most innovative concept because it uses nanoparticles that can repair damaged cells and tissues by inserting the active agent only the right quantity and just where it is needed, thus reducing the costs and side effects. The Crywatch. The Crywatch will be a multifunctional watch that people will have to wear at all times. This will be able to measure their blood pressure, number of steps, number of hours slept, and other medical parameters. And in case of emergency, it will transmit signals to doctors and hospitals. And it will also include a GPS sensor so that victims can be located more easily. But another concept that we would like to present you is Virgo, which is a companion to the Crywatch. And it will be in a form of glasses or contact lenses, and it will be a hologram with a pyramid-like shape.
The political system adopted in our settlement is going to be the Republic, but however, there isn't going to be just a leader, but a council, which is going to take decision following internal advice. This council is going to be elected annually. Now, about the economical system, the currency of the settlement is going to be the Chrysalis, which is going to be stored virtually, so it won't exist in a liquid form. Now, each and every citizen of the settlement is going to be able to make payments and to access his bank account from his Crywatch, which will be permanently connected. Now also, the contactless transactions between the Crywatches is going to be possible.
Research is a very important component of people's lives and of the settlement development. The main branches of the research area are the medical one, consisting of genetical engineering and disease treatment. Also, the microgravity and its influence upon people's life will be studied in particular. The cranial system, although studied a lot in the past and in the present, still conceals many secrets, so that's why we wanted to discover a new perspective of it from space. We wanted to see more, we wanted to go further in our solar system, and why not another galaxy. And that's why we wanted to apply a fractal structure of our settlements. Chrysalis will be only the first one and only the principal thing that will lead to the development of a whole community. Here you can see a picture of the structure reimagined in our solar system. Thank you for your attention.